What up, everyone? You know who I am. I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah. And we're going back into the world of weird, the world of She Hulk, the Blonde Phantom, part 3 of 3. And yes, don't adjust your set. She Hulk is wearing sensors on her beautiful bits and pieces. Why is this going on? Well, why ask why when how is so much more fun? Let's jump on into this. Due to a little time travel shenanigans, partially by Reed Richards, he's able to find the bomb. It's actually been sitting in plain sight for years in a fountain. He had to hide it there in order to keep away from the government. It's called Rosebud. The original Blonde Phantom was in the heist. It's a whole story. And so he had to hide it out, making up a lie saying the Russians stole it. And this guy, this moral dude, has been looking for it for years and years, trying to develop different land. He's owned banks. He's owned a bunch of different stuff. He tried straightening people out in San Francisco during the time of the 60s, the sexual revolution and such. He was basically thrown out of town, so he decided to invest his money in other things, superheroes, superpowered beings. And yes, he created his own crew to do his bidding, to enforce his moral rules, and furthermore, enforce his agenda. And of course, Sue Richards comes out of nowhere. She made a new costume for the Blonde Phantom, Junior, I should say. And they're basically deciding what they're going to do. They have to get to that fountain right away. They have to stop that bomb. So She-Hulk grabs the new Blonde Phantom and they take off. Yes, and they're flying to Vegas. They're trying to figure out what they're going to do first. But they have to stop this Reverend guy. They have to stop him from finding the bomb first. So it's basically a big race on who could get to the nuke first and what they're going to do with it. So this guy is basically going over his plan with his guests, and he's in full on I'm going to incinerate everyone mode. And anyone that stops him, anyone that questions him, his thugs are getting ready to blow them up. And of course, She-Hulk is trying to find the bomb, also trying to stop this guy at the same time. They capture the bankers and the press, of course, and they're having their little meeting. This is where the Blonde Phantom lets out where the bomb is. She just drops this information, this guy, the thing that he's been looking for the most, a slip of a tongue. And boom, he has the location. So he sends his thugs after She-Hulk so he can recover the bomb himself. Meanwhile, bankers, members of the press run away. They have a big story to tell, so they're trying to get that scoop and let everyone know that there's a nuke in Vegas, ready to turn this sand castle into basically glass. And so this guy's running away, to his quote-unquote destiny. Well, this chick drops out of nowhere, the Abomatrix. Yep, that's her name. And she begins kicking She-Hulk here and there. And the Blonde Phantom is reunited with the original Blonde Phantom, Wheezy, her mom. And they're trying to figure out a way. Maybe they get to the big boss and figure out if there's an off switch or anything. Meanwhile, She-Hulk's fighting this guy with a heart in his chest and also the Abominatrix. And they're basically just taking turns stomping the crap out of her, double teaming her. Of course, the numbers game. I've brought this up before. It could be effective in different situations. They slam a safe down her head, sort of knocking her out. This guy is, of course, going to his quote-unquote destiny, gets into a helicopter, takes off, and heads for that fountain. Meanwhile, the Blonde Phantom out, she's dead, and Louise knows better. She's just a little knocked out, and she's probably going to be very pissed off when they wake her up. They splash a hose on her, she wakes up, and they have no time. They have to get to that place. They have to shut that guy down. They have to stop him wherever he is. That is their main plan. If they stop him, they can eventually get the nuke. But it's a big race on who's going to get it first. And of course, this guy has to go up on his followers, threatening that everyone's going to be nuked in a very nice, very different way. Light shall shine down upon, blah, blah, blah. She-Hulk comes in that badass car of hers. There's censorship stickers flying everywhere, and this comes into play later. She runs through some of the people, and of course, this guy fires a blast, atomizing all her clothes, and of course, the censorship stickers are there to patch her up. Hoo-wee! That's the best use of the censorship committee I've ever seen. This guy starts doing his little rant, his little adulterer, blah, 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 everything will be pure. And she begins punching the hell out of people wearing the beautiful censorship stickers. She wraps one of the censorship banners around her like a dress, and of course, Abominatrix uses this time to take advantage. She grabs a gardener and takes a swing at her. And of course, She-Hulk flies away into one of the signs, and this guy knocks out one of his bankers, and he's going to go to the missile. He's going to set it off. He's going to smother Las Vegas in flame and fire. He's going to finally do what he thinks he ought to do to the unrighteous, and basically just kill everyone in Vegas. What a good guy. Anyways, Abominatrix and She-Hulk are fighting. She's mad because she's missing her soaps. Of course, She-Hulk outmaneuvers her. She runs into a big shoe, like sign, with a big crash. And this is sort of funny, how she just kind of gets the better of her. And this is She-Hulk, she's had a lot of experience fighting at this point. She's dealing with the other guy too. The shoe falls, and she finally gets the thing, this is what happens when the other shoe drops. She makes a little joke. And of course, Abominatrix is mad. She's missing her soap operas. They're a little surprised on how this bomb thing is going to go down, but they continue fighting. And they're also by the fountain. Meanwhile, Wheeze and the new blonde Phantom are trying to go upstairs, trying to get to this mob boss that actually hid the nuke, but the preacher's already there. So everything's kind of going topsy-turvy. And of course, She-Hulk and the Abominatrix are fighting by the nuke, which is disguised as a rocket with a girl riding on it. And She-Hulk's trying to get her away from it because she doesn't want the nuke to go off. It snaps down, she picks it up. And of course, these guys are having a little struggle, they're having a little talk. They open fire on each other. The guy has a heart attack. She says, "Oh my God," of everything that's going on. She-Hulk, wondering what to do, she picks up the nuke and she just throws it out of the atmosphere. And this is true Hulk power right here. She gets rid of the nuke, Las Vegas is saved, and she's still in that sexy censorship banner. Whew. And of course, the blonde Phantom and the mother have a little talk. After, of course, they knock out the bad guy, whether or not she's going to do this. She doesn't want to drop it out of college, so I guess she has a few more years before she does her superhero thing. And the day is saved in the world of weird, and She-Hulk, Wheeze, and the blonde Phantom drive off into the sunset. But what's going to happen the next time? We'll find out, won't we? And as always, I'm the Comic Outlaw, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.